Stop.
Oh yeah, he's one of the coolest.
Folks,
It's like young
There we
Goku,
go.
and then they
Boom.
make him all.
can you guys hear me? I'm using like a different headset this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, you can hear
it
you.
works fine.
It looks remarkably like the shitty headphones I use every time, but I assure you, these are different shitty headphones.
Okay, good.
Yeah. How's everyone doing?
Outstanding. Just
Great.
a little,
Fine.
almost
Oh,
done.
how are you?
You're not.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Polly's here
I'm
too.
doing well. Oh, we got the dog. See, we're still lacking our dog music though.
That's
so
true.
We're just gonna edit that in post, as they say in the biz. So I'm excited to be doing this. We haven't met in a few weeks. I was going over in my head all of the exciting action that happened in the most recent episode, with crazy pigs turning into ridiculous creatures, unexplained ramen bowls appearing out of nowhere, and I really wanted to get into exactly what happens next. But before all that happens, I think we have one important piece of business that we need to get to.
What's that?
I need to call out this punk bitch named Laz Devine, who would dare to
Oh,
post on our fucking wall. All right, listen, Laz Devine, if you're watching this right now, who the fuck gave you Wi-Fi? All right, I want to know who the fuck raised you. I want to call up child services, because the second they hear that a parent is raising a kid who's this much of a punk bitch, they're going to throw him into the system. And you know what? I hope that he never touches a computer again for as long as he lives. Don't you dare come into my YouTube channel and complain about how we do Dragonball Jug. All right, Laz Devine? Now, fucking go back to middle school and learn how to read.
I think we're being a little harsh here. This is our one viewer.
This is our
This is
this is our only
the one person that actually left a
constructive
comment.
criticism.
Well, look, I apologize for having some standards, all right? I want only the highest caliber of audience watching our important program here. Now,
That's
I
it.
think we can get down to business here.
Woof! The thoughts of Jug Dish are not necessarily the thoughts of other members of the Dragon Ball Jug program. Actually, no, fuck that guy. You're right.
Fuck him to death.
So welcome back. It's been a while.
It has been a while. What is it, 3 weeks at least?
Oh yeah, about we
3
were
or 4
discussing 3 or
maybe.
4,
Yeah.
maybe even a full month. Which not the worst thing in the world, because it's not like the creative mind needs a break every once in a while, right? Can we all agree on that?
Yeah. We had to just let it, take in the ideas of the outside world so we can be enriched and ready to talk more about a stupid fucking 25-year-old TV show.
Yeah, it's getting
Intent
up
for
there.
Children. So we'll skip the whole why we're doing this thing, because if you don't know at this point, you're probably better off for it. Get right down to where we are. Can someone bring us into where we last let off?
Last episode was the Oolong episode, the episode where we were introduced to Oolong, correct?
Right.
And as we left, they got the Dragon Ball from the lady in the village who called Goku the Randy boy.
He is ready.
Because Goku freed the women of the village from captivity of Oolong, which turns out wasn't that bad. It's a pretty good spot.
Prepubescent women, we should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, all the pubescent women. Yeah. So he frees pubescent women. He's described as Randy. And I think that's apt. There are a few times where we have as apt a description of Goku throughout the entire series.
Yeah,
But now we're on
as a champion of horniness, you were pretty
the world's horniest fighter.
you were
That
pretty
is
excited to find out that Goku was classified as Randy, were you not?
I was. I've been arguing since day one that, one of the theories, one of the arguments on this, and I don't want to get into it yet, is that Goku's an asshole. We're going to hold off on that. But we can all agree that he's horny. There's no question about it.
I think that was up for debate as well.
That's definitely up to debate. He's pretty asexual at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Jug just is projecting his own latent, not even latent, his own
We
primal.
disagree.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
is this Goku's childhood or your childhood?
You said some things, I said some things. You know what I mean?
Look, does my childhood resemble Goku's in an almost eerie way? Yes.
Really?
But
I'm gonna
That's
need you
not the
to
topic.
elaborate on that.
yeah, that's a story for another day.
Did you know a shape-shifting English-talking pig who was
Yes.
impossibly horny and taught you the ways of...
And
All of these things are common in Boston.
It's true. It actually is
Yeah,
every
You can
day.
attest to this. Yes. But so here we are. We're on to our next adventure. Goku is on to the next Dragon Ball and all of his pals. He's got Bulma with him. Who else is riding dirty with Goku right now? Is it still just Goku and Bulma, or did they take
Oolong's along for the ride now.
Oolong
Yeah,
is
Oolong's
along.
with us.
Hey, can I make a suggestion?
And it's never really explained why Oolong is going along with them. Does anybody?
It's
Oh, no,
explained
he-
at the beginning of this one here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What's the
he
reasoning?
wants, well, he's basically
More
going
pubescent
to do a
girls.
male Bulma. He's going to get all the Dragon Balls, snatch them at the last second, and wish for a harem of women.
Really?
Everyone's horny.
I don't think Oolong necessarily wants to be along for the ride, though.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He is.
Oh, yeah.
He's coerced.
Yeah. So it starts off with they're heading down this river in this small motorized boat, and they're heading they're heading southwest to this mountain called Mount Frypan, which is this mountain that's just perpetually on fire.
Nice.
And-
It's a good name for it.
And it's inhabited. It is an excellent name.
Wait, or
Well,
is it?
it's that in Japanese. Unfortunately, it's
Yeah, I
only
think it's
Fire Mountain
Fire
in
Mountain.
English.
Ah, better.
Oh, is it really only Fire Mountain?
Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's
lame?
really-
Well, that's
lame.
incredibly uncreative.
So at the
Ah.
same time, how often are fry pans on fire? Like, unless you're making a flambe, you've made a big mistake if your frying pan is on fire.
Well, there are a lot more poor cooks than there are good cooks. Correct?
Well,
Well,
yes,
it's
that is the logic of this show. That's true.
The boundary of the mountain is always on fire, so maybe it's an
Ah.
allusion to the idiom "out of the fry pan into the fire."
Well, this explains it a lot, actually. Now that we've contextualized the fire, we
There-
can picture this.
there's-
And I'm pleased with the Japanese name. Totally hate the American name.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot. We lose a lot with the translation. It seems not like
Possibly
a lot.
Also, an allusion to the J.A.R. Tolkien classic, The Hobbit.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a chapter.
Absolutely. Hey, can I make a suggestion real quick? With the difference in translation, I think it would be cool to start off every podcast with the name of the episode we're reviewing.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh,
yeah.
why haven't we
So-
done that before? Oh God.
So we're
usually
reviewing-
save that to the end, just see if it fits or
Yeah.
not, and then have a 5-minute discussion over it.
So we're doing Dragon Ball episode 5 now, and the English title is Yamcha the Desert Bandit.
Oh,
And,
nice.
Right. So right there, you get you kind of get a taste of what we're going to get. In the Japanese title
I
is
just read it.
the Japanese title is Yamcha the Strong but Cruel Desert Bandit. So it's a little different.
Ooh.
You get to see a little bit of a difference in translation.
Adding
there,
a little
so-
character depth right from the get-go.
absolutely.
How about
See,
that?
I gotta say, all right, it is a theme in this podcast that we consistently side with the Japanese translation. In this particular case, I think that I would prefer the American version, and here's why. If I'm hearing the title Yamcha the Desert Bandit, I'm like, wow, I gotta watch this because I gotta see what kind of adjectives I would use to describe him. I gotta find out this dude's appropriate adjectives. In the Japanese version, it's like they give it away at the beginning. If I'm looking at that title, I'm like, why would I watch the show when I can get the adjectives from the title alone?
So you're
Well,
like,
there's no wiggle room now. He's got to be
And-
strong and cruel.
that's true.
But is he ever cruel? He kind of just
He's
think
trying to
he's
rob
still
them
is-
at the
is
beginning.
panic-
He's never not
Balls here.
cruel.
Yeah, he's definitely cruel in this episode, is he not?
yeah, but then he
Yeah.
comes around pretty quickly.
Sure,
And then
but
just like
An
BFFs.
interesting thing about Dragon Ball, and I don't actually know how interesting it is, but every every protagonist starts off as an antagonist.
Mhm.
every
in a
single
way.
one, right? Yeah,
Well,
almost.
with,
Yeah,
with the exception of Goku, right?
Actually, I mean, like,
Well, not really.
they don't even paint.
I
yeah,
guess
mean,
you know. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, like, Yamcha is sort of like a, spooky dude at first in this until we find out, that he's, of course, scared of women. Like, the first
That
thing
all
we
happens
see,
within like 10 minutes.
yeah, the first thing we see is Pua, who has this, ridiculous voice. But he sees Goku and Co. coming across the desert plains, and he, like, slides down their little weird brick treehouse setup.
Is Puar a
He's
boy?
like-
Yeah.
Poir's a boy?
Yeah.
Man,
Dude, I
my
thought
whole
Poirot
world
was
got
a
flipped
girl.
upside down.
Oh, just because of the name. I mean, the voice in the English.
It could be the voice, because when I
Yeah.
was a kid, I thought Frieza was a girl too, but apparently was
Well,
a
he's
dude.
like
Oh
he's
yeah.
like half a foot tall, so I mean, I don't expect him to sound
Yeah.
that masculine. But
Right.
anyway, the first thing he says, of course, is victims.
It
And you
is.
get like this dark, brooding Yamcha who's like, finally.
Yeah. So yeah, actually that's kind of screwed up, isn't it? You don't. Puar isn't really like the as you say, these like personal character flaws are resolved pretty quickly, but it was like jarring to even hear Puar say that.
Wait, sorry, I had to refresh. What did Poir say?
He says
he
victims when
Yeah.
he sees Bulma and Goku and Oolong
Nice.
for the first time. Like, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna rob these fucks. It's basically,
I like the idea of like describing a prey as victims. It's like very stereotypically evil.
yeah, it's
He says
very.
it like 4 times too. He's like, and he's like, what? He's like, victims at last.
Do they explain why these guys just hang out in the desert?
To look for victims, I suppose.
More populated
where else
place.
do you expect desert bandits to hang out?
If they didn't want to be victims, they shouldn't have gone to the desert.
I just think you could be a more proactive and prolific bandit should you choose an environment that's probably a little bit more populated than, let's say, a desert, which
Well,
is
Yeah,
Pros
the
and cons,
logistics
right?
of it too. Like, it's very hard to set up a choke point in the desert.
it is, and
Yeah.
I mean, I
What about
understand
the
that if you
Khyber Pass?
see,
I think there's a lot of relevant current issues that we can get into related to this.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, okay, pros, if you set up a shop as a bandit in, say, a city, many opportunities to banditize people. Cons, ease very hard to evade people should you find yourself needing to do so.
also high
Well,
probability of
law enforcement,
competition too, right?
Yeah.
You know,
I think
Ah,
law
there's-
enforcement is the big one here. There's
oh,
not
law
much
enforcement, true, yeah.
There's not really a police
Exactly.
presence in the desert.
up desert.
Mhm.
Well, all things considered, this is a pretty good haul for a desert bandit because Bulma is mega rich.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's probably like the
so wait.
richest.
And they have
family
Dragon Balls
on-
on them, you know?
Oh yeah.
Of course, her wealth is kind of treated in a strange way, right? Like, we're never seen, like, is this a woman with a lot of credit and liquidity, or are we talking about a lot of assets that she can, turn into readily accessible funds?
I think they
Well, she
have
has a
hard assets.
suitcase.
Yeah.
He has a suitcase full of like capsules that have like houses and planes and like various vehicles.
Right, which is amazing. I guess in that alone, she has a small fortune inside her. Not even a small fortune, a large fortune.
Is
Yeah,
it ever
I guess-
established? Is it ever established like how much any of those capsules cost, or
Yeah,
because they have them?
I always got the impression that they're extremely inexpensive compared to our universe.
Yeah. Which raises the question, like, how bad did it fuck up the global economy when
Right.
when Capsule Corp came around?
Well, I
Like,
think they,
everyone that made houses and vehicles out of a job.
And
well,
also,
yeah, they kind of
continue.
like a benevolent monopoly is kind of how it's presented, right?
Yeah, there doesn't
yeah.
seem to be any competitors.
Yeah, it's just Capsule Corp. There's no other countries doing it. There's no state involvement. There's
Right.
just one company.
And how complicated? I mean,
That's just
clearly
disruption.
it's a very complicated technology, but in this universe, it's attainable because Dr. Briefs does it. So why? How come nobody else can do it? I don't understand that either.
Well, so it's kind of treated the same way that like the Star Trek people are going to kill me here, but the holographic generator thing where you can just they produce food instantly. Do you know what I mean? It's Star Trek.
I mean, I know what you're
right?
talking about, but yeah, I don't know what to call it.
All right, okay, so whatever it is,
Mhm.
the very notion of it was that it would immediately eradicate the economy because there would be no scarcity, right?
Right, no hunger at all.
Yeah. So if that's the case, then there's probably something similar at play with Capsule. So in both cases, we're dealing with a world post that enormous disruptive event where that thing comes in and destroys the global economy, which must have been fucked up in its own right and probably worth its own show.
Well, it's kind of all over the place here because, I mean, we're sooner from now we're going to meet a king.
Which I'm stoked for.
So there's kings still.
Yeah.
The briefs are worth trillions. There's Emperor Pilaf. It's not established what exactly he's an emperor of, but then there's like the Red Ribbon Army, and they're like a giant private army. And there's like one president. He's like a dog. I don't think we meet him
Yep.
till later. So
Actually, he's a king as well.
oh,
King
he's a king?
Fairy.
Oh, okay.
And it's revealed how he became king later on.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's a pretty good
I
one.
keep forgetting that
stay
I'm also
tuned.
a novice for the
Yeah.
most part. Yeah.
I would definitely say that a lack of a well-detailed economic system is one of my biggest qualms for this notoriously lowbrow show intended for children.
Yeah.
Uh,
When it comes down
that's
to the
one of my biggest
economy,
issues with it. Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
or the fact that they don't even identify geographical places by names, other than the like,
Also infuriating. Like, how am I supposed to put them on a map? Yeah.
yeah, we don't know.
So, okay.
They actually, real quick, they show a map of the world. I think, like when they're talking to or Colonel Silver, they show like a map of the world in the background. It looks kind of like like Earth in a way. Like it had North and South America, kind of the same shapes, but next
really?
to it, it was kind of a little bit different. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
this is going to be some really fantastic content to go on the side when people are watching this. Be like, for
Oh, yeah.
reference, the map we're talking about. I'm excited already.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if it's going to show up because I don't think it's this episode. But
Son of a bitch. Okay,
It's
so
pretty funny.
so what?
we
so-
we track, but I remember where we were.
Okay,
we were
okay,
trying
so-
to explain why Oolong was coming for the ride, and it
Okay,
is
so-
because. Yeah.
So they're heading down this river and they're heading towards Mount Frypan, where the sixth Dragon Ball is located, and it also happens to be the home of the legendary Ox King, and
Yes.
he's just this mysterious legendary figure in this universe, and Bulma or Goku, ignorant Goku, like us the viewers, naturally wants to know. Why are we bringing this pig along with us? And so Bulma says, well, Bulma's explanation actually makes a lot of sense. So ultimately, she's looking to get this gang to, to guard her. She's got Goku, the bodyguard, who's extremely strong. He can, muscle any foe. And then we've got Oolong, who may not be physically strong, but he can shapeshift and he can potentially intimidate any foes encountered. So
I
it
guess
makes sense.
that's just sound logic from Bulma here. Yet again, reinforcing our argument that Bulma is easily the smartest person in this entire show.
It's not even close. She's definitely the smartest,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the manner in which she coerces Oolong to do her bidding is truly cruel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, it's a bad thing.
Okay, so what does she do?
I'm not sure how she's able to do it, but
It's a drug, isn't it?
that's right. She gives him a pill, right?
So we get to that.
Yeah.
I guess she convinces Oolong to stick around initially by suggesting that she'll sleep in her panties. So, I mean,
That
this is
alone,
just
I mean,
Wait,
the joke that never dies.
like that will be her outfit for when she goes to bed, and thus he
Right,
should stick around
exactly.
to watch.
No,
Oh,
that's
okay.
just like a normal thing.
That's
Like
it.
going to bed in your underwear is pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're a horny teenage pig, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Especially
I can
when
see that.
he's just capturing children.
Yeah. He's trying to evolve from his whole capturing children thing, and now he's on to adult stuff like trying to steal panties.
Right.
That's usually-
Adult
yeah.
stuff like stealing panties.
Yeah, this is an adult's world,
So if you think this is the last time the show casually tries to make a joke out of panties, then you're sadly mistaken.
Oh no, just wait like literally 2 minutes.
You're in for a wild ride.
We'll get right back to it.
So
In
Go
fact,
ahead.
this entire season culminates in a panty joke.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
as if I wasn't already stoked. So we've got the gangs all together, and we're headed off to the Ox King's fortress inside a mountain surrounded by fire. But first, we must cross a great desert.
hmm
Excellent.
And we're getting
We're
Oolong to
still on the
come.
lake.
I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah.
There's still,
Too ambitious.
it's interesting you bring up the Ox King. So this is where Oolong sort of takes over, and he says, "You don't want to go. You don't want to cross the Ox King. He's known as the Emperor of Demons, which I don't know. I'm sorry, but every other antagonist in this series is held that title.
Yeah, right. Just like
Yeah.
the
The
really.
Emperor of Demons.
Also, he's like the nicest guy on earth.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. He just seems like the sweetest person.
And so,
So-
go ahead.
No, so basically, Emperor of Demons is just kind of a title that everyone's vying for at this point. That's what I'm gathering.
There's just a lot of
Absolutely.
hyperbole going on in the universe. People get talked up pretty
Rightly
big.
so.
They probably
I'm a
just
fan
thought
of
it sounded
hyperbole.
cool. They're like, oh, we can't use that up yet. We gotta just keep it going.
So you have the Emperor of Demons, you have the King of Demons, you have the Demon King.
Sure. So okay, so we're ready to move on from the lake.
No.
No,
No,
Not over.
what's happening at the lake? I gotta know what's going on at the lake.
we're not. No lake.
So he's explaining that the Ox King is this guy. He's guarding his mountain, his treasure.
Uh-huh.
And you don't want to get near him because he'll decapitate anyone who gets near his treasure. And
That's pretty specific.
it
Well,
is
you know.
specific.
To be fair, he's like 18 foot tall, so you could see him do it.
Right.
Yeah. He's also got a massive axe, a giant
Yeah,
battle
that
axe.
too.
Yep. I like this. This is all evocative. You know, I'm getting a real sense of who this guy's character is and what his motivation is. When somebody says like, "Oh, he's huge and he'll kill you," I'm like, "But be specific." You know. I hear that he decapitates people. I'm like, that connects to me. I get a sense of who this guy is.
Oh, he's got a sick Viking hat and facial
Yeah.
hair too,
That's a guy who decapitates people. Perfect.
and braces. Yeah, he's
And
always wearing
Like on his teeth?
suspenders.
Oh, suspenders. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. He's like this weird Northern European like blend of sort of tropes, like, you know, as if Japanese people had heard about all these things but never actually seen anyone from Scandinavia.
Again, we encounter the casual racism of Dragon Ball.
It's it shows its face from time to time. So get
Another common
this.
trope.
So I'm just gonna hit right to it. So Bulma gives Oolong a drug that can make him have to take a shit every time she says "piggy, piggy." And
So
so,
what precedes that?
oh, okay, go ahead.
So Oolong jumps into the river. He transforms into a fish, and
Into a
Goku.
fish.
Yes.
Yeah.
He transforms into a fish. Goku dives in after him and can't find him, so he resurfaces, and Bulma says, "Don't worry, I know how to get him."
Oh,
And
that's
so
right.
She produces this fishing pole, and attached to the hook will shock you.
Yes, she says, if you want to catch a fish, you have to use the right bait. And then puts on, of course, a pair of generic white underwear belonging.
Yes, the panties strike again.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys remember when this was on its run on Toonami, but it wasn't panties.
No, I don't remember
Really?
that. What was it?
Does anybody remember? It
I
was.
didn't know they ran this on Toonami. I thought it was just Z.
Oh, they did. It was. Oh man.
I bet
They had
that
a lot
one
of
bitch Las
obstacles.
Devine doesn't know either. What do you know, kid? You don't know shit. All right? Come here and try to learn something rather than criticize people. I'm sorry. I'm
Is it
done.
Las Devine or is it LA Devine? I was thinking it was like an
Not
East
for
Coast,
Vanessa.
West Coast rivalry.
Las Devine. Las is plural, so it makes sense. Anyway, what is it in Toonami?
It's the worst clip art of like a wad of singles. It's just like somebody superimposed this like a cardboard cutout of a wet wad of singles. She's like, I know what'll get him out of the water. And so Oolong takes the bait and
Just can't resist
get
a
him back
pair
in
of
the boat.
panties.
that's
He
right.
has to grab them.
Because Oolong is presumably a Minnesota stripper.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
I want to know how
So-
I want to know how they covered up like the 40 other things that we've talked about that needed to be covered up to make this
Oh, there's
children's
plenty.
show.
There's
ever grown.
plenty.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there is a
It's
lot.
all up here.
That's
Yeah,
good.
dude, that's what I was just thinking. That like localizing this must have been a real task for a company like Cartoon Network that has to deal with censors and stuff.
I don't even know
Um,
why they would have
Well,
attempted
standards
it.
and practices, rather, people.
Right.
That would be a pain in the ass. This could be an entire subject, but we have ground to cover here. So
Elodie now this is where she gives him the candy.
So fucked up.
Yeah, so he gets hooked on the panties. Is the candy on the panties, or is it when he pulls?
When she gets him back in the boat, she says, "Now sit still, and then I'll placate you by giving you some hard candy. Now here's a piece of candy." And so, I mean,
So she tricks him
Yeah.
because he's in a vulnerable state with a drug.
well,
No,
he did just go after.
no. I'm not saying this is like, he's a bad boy, but Bulma basically roofies this man, Pigman, and a drug that will enable her to control his bowels with apparently a limitless supply of feces. Because it happens an outrageous amount of times.
Yeah, no one is innocent here except for Goku.
This is unbelievably cruel. It's like it's
As
a
I
different
alluded to
type of
last
slavery.
Yeah, as I alluded to last time, Goku's really only innocent in the extent to which there aren't any cops around for him to fight.
If I remember correctly,
Exactly.
Oolong audibly proclaims the fact that he wants no part of Fire Mountain, or what was it, Frying Pan Mountain, or what is it? What's it?
Mount Fry.
Mount Fry Pan. And he wants no part of the Ox King. He wants out. And Bulma and Goku force him to shit to the point where he has to do what they say in order to stop shitting.
No, this isn't as crazy as it sounds, right? It's like you've got that good friend of yours, right? And you're like, come on, we're going out tonight. And he's saying, no, I don't want to go out tonight. It's not worth it. It's going to be a big pain in the ass. And you're like, listen, don't be such a stick in the mud. We're going to have a lot of fun.
You may not get decapitated, but it's fine.
Yeah, it's going to be a
It'll be
blast.
cool.
Like, try to get out of your apartment once in a while. And they're still holding out. They're still being a real pain in the ass. And so you just give them a laxative.
Yeah, right.
That lasts a month, by the way.
You give them a laxative that lasts a month.
And then it's triggered by a vocal, like a reverberation of sound waves, specific ones.
Yeah.
Works every time.
Yeah.
It works every time.
It's oddly specific.
It's just what friends have to do.
Yeah, piggy, which is it's like it's a
Yeah,
crazy drug.
Is that the command for everyone that has it, or is it like specifically programmed for this pig?
I don't know. It's a lot of things that to meet.
It's different in Japanese. It's PPP.
Oh.
Which is that's a phonetic thing, huh? It's
I
just
guess
PPP.
so.
That seems a lot more reasonable. It seems crazy
it
that
does,
it's
yeah.
piggy.
It's actually called a PP pill. That's what they call it. So
That makes more sense.
So in this case, that we can assume that the piggy actually just has to urinate, but it makes like poop noises.
no, it's
Doesn't
definitely
he? Yeah, because I think
That's
he
a
walks out of the
laxative.
bushes and he's carrying toilet paper.
Yeah, it's heavily implied that he is doing not number one, but in fact number two.
See,
Which
I remember-
Goku finds hilarious.
Yeah, well, he's Goku.
Why wouldn't you? Shitting's hilarious. Shitting's hilarious. I'm 30.
Yeah,
It's
fun. It is.
Yeah, so I remember him doing this in the cartoon when I was watching it. Him always, running into the bushes with toilet paper, presumably to shit. I remember Bulma yelling "Piggy, piggy" prior to that. I did not realize, or I just completely slipped my mind, that it was due to her drugging him.
Yeah,
But
it's
okay.
screwed up.
You thought Oolong just had like terrible IBS, and it was like
I
a
thought
tragic,
so.
funny
Or-
character that they put into him.
I thought it was maybe like a nervous thing. So here we have Oolong has been cursed. Does she explain this in any
well,
way?
he doesn't know it yet. They're still on the boat at this point. I know you want them to be out of the boat, but they're still there.
Okay, I'm enjoying the boat.
Unfortunately, this scene takes a whole 3 minutes, so we'll be here for another 2 hours. People.
Yeah.
A lot's going on. So the boat runs out of gas, and it's just one of those things that creeps up on you, I guess. And so
Much like irritable bowel syndrome.
the boat runs out of gas, and they don't know how to get to shore. So Bulma suggests, "Hey, Oolong, turn into an oar," which he does, and
Pretty solid.
Goku uses it the oar to row to shore. So they're out of the
Alternatively,
boat.
he could have just transformed into a motor, but okay.
that's true.
In the American version, they addressed that. Well, no, they
Really?
well, the American version, the first thing that Bulma suggests is that he turn into a tank of gas, and then he says he can't. He said I'd be used up. And so
Well,
then
that's
she
the-
That's the
suggests
same in
gold.
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah. So then, so they couldn't do that. All right. So they're out of the lake. We good. We just fast forwarded through. Now they're in the desert. So Puar sees it.
No,
No, not
first
yet.
Goku-
Fuck.
Not yet. Not yet.
Go ahead,
So
Bruce.
what becomes sort of like as classic an image as Kelvin peeing on things in the stickers
Yeah.
on the back of American trucks. We have Goku with his pants around his knees peeing into a lake, and that is a trope which comes back like 80 times throughout Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
Whatever
This guy
reason,
wants to piss.
we have to see Goku piss into a lake like 3
And he-
times per season.
And he goes
It is
pants,
mandated.
pants to ankles when he drops.
Yeah, he gets pants and ankles.
He's the nature
Honestly,
boy.
He doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
Pissing is probably Goku's 4th favorite thing.
It's up there for
Yeah.
sure.
Number 1, fighting, obviously.
Yeah.
Number 2, eating, obviously.
Unquestionably. Yeah.
Number 3, being a huge moron. And number 4, peeing.
Yeah.
Public
That's a pretty
urination.
fair assessment.
Yeah,
These are- These are pretty rough traits to describe a hero.
I will say though, I kind of understand that public urination is my 4th favorite thing to do too.
That's definitely
So-
up there.
It's definitely. I mean, it's
Freeing.
great. Have you done it? It's awesome.
Yeah, it's completely liberating for sure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if he pees in city, whatever it's called.
If this would be like a great trivia question for assholes. Like name 10 times that Goku pees in the first season of Dragon Ball.
Be done.
And he waits a little while and then he just says it again much slower. So
Trivia. Oh boy.
so yeah, you guys want to see my impression of every trivia guy?
Yeah.
He asked the question like this, and then he asked it again like this.
That's not bad.
All right, so he's peeing into the lake.
Yes. Bulma checks her capsules to find a vehicle, and she realizes the capsules have gone missing.
What the
And
fuck?
I know. So she's freaking out. She's going bananas, and when she's when they're out there having this fit, Oolong sneaks away, and
Does he
again,
now?
and Goku goes chasing after him again, completely unable to find him. He's
Is this when
terrible.
he turns into a fly?
That's later on,
Ugh.
I think.
Because that is the worst. That is the worst getaway.
Hey, he picks
Like,
he makes terrible
the easiest way to
decisions.
die. Yeah.
He makes terrible getaway decisions. Ant, fly, like a.
Oh, yeah, the ant. That might have been what I was thinking too. Yeah.
A fish in a lake too. Like you're in a captive body of water.
He may be an amazing pig, but he's not smart.
He's not actually. It's pointed out later on that. So spoilers. Pua went to school with Oolong.
Yeah, because
sort of-
Clark can shapeshift too, can't he?
yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
went-
met at shape-shifting school, which is a thing
It
that
turns
is
out that
in this
Oolong like never went to class and was generally a pretty crappy student, and that's why he can only shapeshift for like 5 minutes.
Not the Japanese version.
Oh, let's hear it.
He can't hold his form for more than 5 minutes because he flunked out after stealing a teacher's.
Oh no.
Daddies.
Oh, seriously?
Oh, good. It's too great.
Every time.
So otherwise he was a model student. Wait.
Yeah,
So
probably not. But
hold
yeah.
on. That's like
does this-
enforced. He can't do it because of that specific reason. That's
Yeah, that's the reason they give. Yes.
That seems
interesting.
pretty reasonable to me, but also I feel like he probably didn't have the 5 minutes.
Yeah, just like how does that enforce? Like
How about 0 minutes?
yeah, I don't know. That's
Well,
bizarre.
in the English one, they say that he didn't get to that class because he failed out, so he can't
Oh, yeah.
concentrate and pull the shape.
That holds up.
But does this all imply that shapeshifting is a learned tool? Like it's not like
I think so.
Yeah,
So everybody could potentially learn it.
Why does
Yeah, it's
everybody go to
it's-
this school?
it's like
But it's
layers
not
It's
of
a cool
magic.
world, you know? I think one
Because
thing we can all agree on
nobody-
is that there's some cool shit going on in this world.
Oh yeah.
But if nobody is fazed by someone shapeshifting or the fact that shapeshifting school exists, why is not everybody trying to learn how to do this? If everyone agrees that it's so useful, and
Should
they
be
take
taught.
along,
Yeah.
like,
What-
It is
Shit,
extremely
big.
useful, and for some reason, it's never mentioned again after this sequence of episodes.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
And wait, and furthermore, if shapeshifting school is a known thing, then why aren't people more like circumspect about like everything? Like if
Yeah, this
in
could be a
this
shapeshifter.
episode, all this crazy shit is happening, and literally nobody proposed, hey, we live fucking next door to a shapeshifting school. Maybe this big asshole is actually just some idiot from there.
Yeah.
That's not a possibility that occurred to anyone.
I think, like okay, so
We're getting too deep into this.
This is the
Yeah.
kind of shit
If you
that
think about
lots
the
of people is gonna miss out on. Once it's
best
banging
case
out
scenario,
5-6
worst case
episodes
scenario.
in one episode.
I went into this being like, okay, this time we're gonna like get through this shit. We're gonna go quick.
that's never gonna happen.
That's a crazy aspiration on your part.
Yep. But I do want to know that what happens after Oolong has run off. How do we rectify this scenario?
Well, Bulma says, "Hey, I got the candy, so let's do this thing." And she calls out Piggy, 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 and immediately gives away his location. So
Does he
Do
have
the
to
noise of him shit?
Yeah, because he has to
or what?
stop and poop. Yeah.
they just follow their noses, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like loudly, like
Actually,
explosive
Like Toucan
diarrhea.
Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fireworks go off.
It's like, oh, this is torture. Oh, this is terrible. It's just like crapping, like behind a bush, and Goku's just like laughing his ass off. And like Goku, because he doesn't know any better, joins in and does it too. But then he kind of does know better, and so like both of them are just enslaving this poor pig with diarrhea.
So they find him, and Bulma does the big reveal in her victory that, hey, I poisoned you with this magic pill.
Yeah, she just
And
tells
then-
him.
Yeah.
And then Goku immediately goes into attack stance and says, "You're a witch. I'm going to fight you now."
Oh wow.
And she
He turns
says,
on her so quickly.
"I'm not a witch," and he drops it.
That's it.
And that's it.
Classic Goku.
That's a good argument, though.
Yeah.
You know,
He takes
I'm
people
a
at their
witch, you're a
word. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Goku doesn't understand the concept of lying till like a very long time, if I remember correctly.
He's just too pure.
He grew up in a truthful environment. Okay.
Yeah, the other way to read this is that Goku will take literally any opportunity to start a fight with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Just saying it's a viable reading.
A little bit. It's like
Yeah.
immediately gets into a fighting stance. This person who he's now been with for like weeks, presumably.
Yeah, she turns on her
She-
like a freaking psychopath.
She's giving him shelter. They've
Yep.
took baths together.
I was just thinking about it. Like millions of people a year die of diarrhea.
Of diarrhea.
Yeah.
The word is
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah,
Say
no,
millions though.
Yeah.
Millions. Millions. That's so sad.
Here we
Yeah,
go. WHO says each year diarrhea kills around 760,000 children under 5 alone.
Jesus Christ.
Did you just Google that?
Yeah.
What's the
Did you
parasite that causes it?
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And
Oh,
so,
it's mostly impure water, so it'll be a whole bunch of various bacterial and viral.
so basically, Bulma's playing with fire here. This is no laughing matter.
This is
even though
Oolong's
it was
life.
hilarious.
This is
Yeah.
diarrhea life.
Diarrhea life. So my tattoo says. So the truth has been revealed, and this is used as a negotiating tactic to make it abundantly clear that Oolong is coming with them, and that's that.
Absolutely. He doesn't have any
Yeah, I
say in
don't
it.
think that's negotiation.
That's not really a negotiation.
No.
I'd have to get my
It's
copy of the
semantics.
but,
It's like some Black Mirror shit. So okay, now that she's got Oolong, now we're all together. All this happens prior to them like ever going and meeting Yamcha.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
right
Man,
now
yeah.
we're in the desert. We just got to the desert.
Well, not yet.
Well, yeah, no, like next scene, I mean, like
Yeah.
they and yeah.
So they need a vehicle to get to the desert, and they don't have their capsules. So Goku actually suggests, why doesn't Oolong turn into a car or something? And so Oolong transforms into a motor scooter. And
They're able to
Bulma
travel for 5 minutes.
yes, right. And Bulma tries to get on him, and he immediately collapses and says, "Hey, it's not my fault. I can't change my strength. I can only change my shape," which is wildly inconsistent. I think, as Hiro pointed out last time.
He was like breaking houses and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay,
so
Oolong.
wait. So Oolong.
Maybe those houses just really shoddy construction. I mean, you saw
There's a ragtag village.
Hey, that's possible.
I
You
didn't
know,
see any
they all
masons.
seem like idiots.
He does turn into one more thing, though, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
before the next scene.
Oh
And
yeah, that's what I
anyone
mentioned
guess
in the
what it
previous
is?
episode.
Now we're
yeah.
talking.
20 points.
I bet nobody can guess what he turns into.
Can we
Is it
say it
underpants?
together? It's panties.
Yeah.
That's what I mentioned that I think the previous episode because I couldn't remember when it was, and I didn't want that gem to get lost in the shuffle.
So he turns into underpants for what
Plenty
reason?
more of those gems. Where that
Yeah,
So
so
Bulma can put him
Bulma
on.
can wear him and carry him. Yeah.
Oh, like he suggests that as like a method.
Yeah.
No, he legitimately turns into them and is like,
Yeah.
put these on.
Yeah. Why don't you carry me? Being basically.
How
Not like a
How is that?
sock. Not. It just goes right for the underwear. He's
There's
you
a
gotta
whole
admire.
chapter in that
How was
book
that
of the
handled
game
with the
on
Toonami?
Pickup Artists about turning yourself into underwear in order to win a
Polly!
woman over.
To be honest,
Yeah.
I think
Polly
they
dog!
just did that.
Yeah, sorry.
She's had enough of this.
I think they just cut that entirely in the Toonami one.
They're just
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's
Nothing
get
we
that
can know
one.
about that one.
It's
So
amazing
the
that
series-
half the episodes didn't end up being like 3 minutes long.
So
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
other-
ask. It's like the Toonami cut like 43 episodes instead of like 156 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's you'd have to imagine that they cut down.
Well, remember how many of them were just Gohan in the woods with Piccolo? At the beginning, there was like,
Oh yeah.
there was a
Yeah.
that's a DBZ, but
Yeah, there's a whole episode missing out of that saga.
yeah,
Now that you-
yeah, a lot. Anyway, so yeah,
So
we're about to meet Yamcha.
Yes.
Wait. So they
Yeah,
start to move
yeah.
on. But after the panty thing, is it basically just kind of like a "you stupid pig" and they start walking, or what?
Yeah, they just start walking
Yeah,
and they
they
end
just
up in
start
the
walking.
desert.
Okay. So they walk into the desert and they encounter a flying cat who is excited that there's victims.
They encounter nothing. They are introduced to this giant, vast expanse of sand and a bunch of molars sticking out of the ground. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. These got these weird geologic formations that look like teeth.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
like-
It looks like a
Giant
mesa.
teeth
Looks like a
everywhere.
mesa with like big teeth rods.
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so Bulma throws a tantrum. She's hungry and thirsty and wants a hotel.
Yeah, it
And all
says
of that.
air conditioning.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're still early enough on the show that they feel compelled to do this to Bulma. Like every episode, is she just has
Right.
to throw like a massive tanny.
A tantrum. Yeah.
And
Now,
so
well-
she, go ahead.
In her defense, the desert does seem like on the short list of sucky places to be. You
Oh, it's
know?
pretty bad.
Doesn't the desert get super cold at night? Does she really need the AC?
She's
Uh,
now she's gonna
she's
want
living
to
in the
during
moment.
the day.
In the moment, it was hot.
Yeah, you know,
She says, "I deserve to
our
be
bodies
pampered."
only know where we are now. So she's complaining. We're having a hard time. We're having a hard go of things right now.
She goes and hides under a tooth and falls asleep.
As you do.
Dog alert!
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes.
We're gonna have to. We need a board artist to record an extremely uplifting song about the dog. Yeah.
Something to take us away from all the rampant misogyny.
Yeah, exactly.
So Bulma
Um,
goes to bed.
Bulma passes out, and reasonable. She's had a tough day.
Goku offers to go out and grab some pork for him and Oolong.
It's my man.
Fucked
So
up.
for food.
Yeah, he's incredibly insensitive. And, like,
No, but
Desert
Goku
King-
doesn't get it because Goku doesn't know what pork is.
But he's going out to kill a pig.
Yeah, he
I think-
does. He totally
I think
does.
Goku
he
more than
really
anyone
knows.
knows what pork is.
Yeah, he does, right?
He's out there killing it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Goku knows where pork comes from more than anyone
is
else
it like-
in the show.
Is he just gonna kill a feral pig, or is this like livestock that he's just gonna kill a farmer's property? Or it's the rules don't. It's so hard to follow the rules in this universe.
The only-
Yeah, I hate to let my hit card show here, but the desert isn't exactly known for.
Yeah,
its
there's not a lot of
abundance
pigs.
wild pigs.
Lots of wildlife.
Hey, Bulma, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go find a pig. So he goes and kills a pig.
So
Yep.
hard cut to this mountain fortress in the middle of the desert, bandit hideout. We've got
Ooh.
Puar,
Which is made out
and
of multiple giant teeth.
yeah, exactly. It's pretty impressive.
Wait. Sorry, continue. I'll save my questions.
Sure. You got Yamcha, and he's out casing the joint. He's looking through a telescope, and he spots Goku and company.
That's the most practical way to look for people. Is
Right.
That's my number one.
I want one of those
I'm like
actually.
waiting for someone to show up. I always try to keep my telescope with me.
One of those ones on TV
make sure
that they have in their pocket that you like extend. Like,
Yeah, extend and check it out.
yeah, we should all have
Now-
one of those.
Okay, so he's excited. He finds them. I do have one question about the bandit hideout.
Shoot.
If you're like a singular bandit, then your place is not really bandit hideout. It is a bandit's hideout.
Yeah, aren't bandits
if-
notoriously not rich, too?
Yeah, how many bandits do you need for a place to like officially be considered bandit hideout? Like,
4 minimum.
are we talking? Is two? Yeah, see, two seems low.
Think
I
a
mean, there's
minimum
only
4.
bandits here, right?
It's not that brilliantly decorated or anything. It's pretty sparse. It's basically a big rock.
That does sound like
Yeah.
where a bandit. Where
It's
a
kind of
bandit's
just where like
hideout.
riffraff hangs out. Like
Yeah.
they found an abandoned house. Like,
Yeah, definitely
It's the cantina.
some cantina
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah, it's sort of a misnomer too, because it's not really a hideout as much as this giant mountain sticking out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, it's right
It
there.
has a sign that says "Bandit Hideout" on it.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, it's a clubhouse, folks. Who you kidding?
That's literally right there.
Yeah.
There's
Actually,
two of
it
them,
does
they're
look
just
a
like-
lot- It does look a lot like a clubhouse.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. All right,
It's
so
not that bad.
Actually, you know who it when they go to the interior shot, it reminds me a lot of Finn and Jake's treehouse from Adventure Time.
Oh, yeah?
nice.
It's
I
like
can see this
circular
now. This is
This
like
is connect.
decorated
It's a sick house.
American style furniture.
Yeah. But he sees our victims. They get all stoked. And do they hatch a plan, or do they just go fucking full cock into this?
Well, Plan A, their default plan is to just steal all of their hoi poi or their dino caps.
oh yes.
So if they have some dino caps, then that's what they're gonna get.
But didn't we just earlier establish that dino caps are pretty cheap?
No,
really
I
They're-
don't think we
they're definitely
established. I
not.
think it was just a guess.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have
but
no
Desert
idea.
Bandit, this can't exactly be a place with high inflation. I'm gonna guess that the dino caps in this context are gonna go pretty far.
Yeah, they're rare where they are, at the very least.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and it's not like Yamcha clearly does not have a 9 to 5 here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, I've stated my qualms about the lack of a detailed economic system in this world, but I think this scenario kind of makes sense.
it could be like a little bandit utopia. They're all pitching in. Like someone's got to keep the electricity running. Somebody's got to keep the
Yeah,
place
that's not
clean.
bad.
It could be like a little collective of bandits that kind of just created their own sort of society.
Yeah, I think regardless of your trade system and how your nation state's set up, mugging people for their shit is
Yeah.
generally a pretty solid go-to.
Yeah, it works statistically.
For each according to their needs, by each according to what you steal. I'm into this.
It's
This is my
beautiful.
kind of system.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So, they are ready, raring to go, and they
We'll have
tear
this
off
sick
out of
ass
the cave.
hovercraft.
Yeah. What do they do?
They've got like this stand-up hovercraft that
Oh yeah, sick.
yeah, that Yamcha like stands on, and it's got like skis that go down on it when they land.
Presumably,
Beautiful.
he stole that.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
But hang on,
Which is great.
didn't we? So earlier we talked about how like hanging out in the desert is a terrible place for like a bandit to wait for somebody to come by. But now
Yeah.
that there's a collective of all of these bandits, like that's even more scarce in like the terms of how many people are going to come through. So they're
Yeah,
all
we're
gonna be
talking
competing
about
against each other to try to
Supply and
find.
demand here, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. They seem like they're the only bandits around, right?
Mhm. That's the
Yeah,
important.
we don't
Fred-
see any others.
He
The hideout was a
introduces himself as
misnomer.
the Emperor of the Desert. So
Look at all these emperors, dude. They're everywhere. How easy is it to get an empire at this
I was gonna
place?
say, do
Well,
we ever
you
see
just-
like, do we ever see like Pilaf's subjects or anything? Like,
He clearly has a huge house, but yeah, only 2 people, as
yeah,
far
he's
as we
got
know,
this
work
massive
for him.
fortress.
Yeah.
Well, if this
And,
is
like-
more of like, if this is like a medieval system, then we could assume like, all right, if Pilaf's like the big bad, then there are all these other guys who are claiming to be emperors. You know, basically you're just ruling according to your strength in the area, but you still swear fealty to the bigger guy. So presumably everyone could be Pilaf's
Talk
subjects.
about the lord system.
Okay,
Yeah.
but maybe Pilaf is like landed gentry and he just inherited his massive castle and everything, and it's standover days from when his dad, the emperor, sort of ran everything and had all these subjects. But he's also got sufficient enough money to like develop all this constant technology and traps and all this weird stuff that goes on in his castle.
Yeah, he's got a ton
Yeah.
of resources, clearly.
None of which ever works quite as it should. So that's sort of an ongoing thing.
They are very elaborate.
So we're kind of proposing a post King Lear scenario here, where like after the fallout of the family, only the idiot is remaining, and this person's in charge now. That's what we're led to presume, right?
Well, he's definitely an idiot, so I don't think it's
Yeah.
much of a stretch to assume
Oh, yeah.
that that's the case.
But outside of Bumble, we really haven't encountered Bulma and Master Roshi. Outside of those two, we really haven't encountered anyone who isn't a certified idiot in this show.
Yeah,
Yeah, not yet.
But anyway,
pretty much pretty much
So
true.
they head off down. So we've got this cool little hoverboard. We've got this cool flying cat. We're headed down there.
Gonna steal some caps. What
Time
happens?
to do some banditry.
What happens?
How do they go about doing their banditry?
So he introduced, or Yamcha and Puar introduce themselves to Goku and Oolong and say, hey, hand over your capsules and we'll let you go.
So they just go right in through the front door. They don't even.
Oh, right. Yeah,
they just
absolutely.
guns blazing. I like it.
Straight business.
Well, swords blazing. Yamcha's got a 6 sword at this point.
Yes.
Yeah. And so
They
Goku
picked the
doesn't
wrong
say
dude.
anything.
Yeah, they picked the wrong dude.
Well,
Mhm.
swords, for whatever reason, are actually pretty threatening in the Dragon Ball universe. If you've got a sword, you are that much more dangerous of a character.
Yep.
Even
Like-
though they rarely ever win, with the exception of like Trunks.
They're completely irrelevant. There's no reason
That-
to have them.
There are two important sword scenarios that I can recall. One is with Trunks. The other one is a famous and classic move that Yajirobe pulls
No,
to save everyone.
it makes sense in that situation, but
Yeah,
with Trunks, I
yeah,
thought it
that's-
was always superfluous. I didn't understand the point of it. He's like one of the most
Yeah,
powerful
it looked
beings,
cool.
and yeah, it looked cool.
Yeah, because he
the
cut,
point of Trunks, period, is he looks
well, he
cool.
cut Frieza in half with it, and then like Goku
Ah, Trunks.
with one finger. So really, there's no logic to it.
That's no logic. So is Goku at all terrified by this sword? By his like, sword?
Goku's terrified by the
Goku-
sword.
Yeah.
He's not scared of anything.
Yeah.
So this is where Puar recognizes Oolong from shape-shifting class. and and everything we discussed,
Is it a
they
happy
discussed.
reunion, or is Puar like, fuck this guy?
Well,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
happy. It's happy in that Puar wants to see Yamcha,
Rob him.
avenge him. So
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, Puar and Oolong never really get along that well.
It's established that Oolong bullied Puar in school.
Yeah.
right.
Ah. Poor little
As
cute
ever.
Puar.
Oolong's a dick, and
I'd bully Poor too if I'd listened to that fucking voice.
There you go.
Jeez.
He hates
Elodie's
his
got the
voice.
best impression of him. It's perfect.
Of who? Of Oolong?
Of Oolong in the,
Oh,
in the
Goku.
American version.
Yeah, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, it sounds just like him. It's true.
It's perfect.
I can't do
Um,
Puar
so-
though. It's too high.
I mean, listen, I'll level with you guys. I think Oolong's one of my MVPs of the entire Dragon Ball saga. All right,
You're the only guy in this room who could like Oolong.
Oolong's ridiculous. All right, Oolong is a hilarious, absurd character.
No argument there.
He contributes
He's
so
a flat out rapist.
He is, yeah. Just wait till next
He
episode.
is despicable through and through. He has like no redeeming qualities. He never stops being awful at any point.
No, I mean like he's a sex criminal. He like Oolong should be in jail for the good of both him and the rest of the group.
All right, listen. He
I say
stole
this is
so
something like
women.
anti-detention. Oolong
Y'all
needs
made
to be
mistakes.
protected for himself.
I'm with
saying-
Bruce here.
I'm saying I'm trading for Oolong, right? Like I'm my Bill Simmons on this one.
You like him?
Chaozu and Yamcha for Oolong in a first round draft pick to be named later. Who says no? Who says no?
It's not a bad Bill Simmons impression.
Yeah. So here's another controversial
Sex
subject we
criminal.
touched upon. Oolong, totally great aspect of the show, or literal sex criminal.
Literal sex criminal. It's not even up for debate. It's just sort of like, yeah, you should hate this guy.
Some pubescent girls, all right? We make mistakes when we're kids.
Man, if that was as bad as it got, I might be with you. It isn't even.
It gets much worse next
It gets
episode.
much worse.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
I will say my current eval of Oolong is hilarious little scamp. Right?
Yeah.
No.
Certainly one way to look at it.
I'm open to that assessment changing in the future. At present, I remember very little of him.
Charles Manson, hilarious troublemaker.
Yeah. What a cut up that guy.
So Goku and Yamcha fight, right?
You seen the funny faces
Yeah.
he made? You could hate him.
So Oolong says, I'm not giving you my capsules. Well, he claims he doesn't have any. So he tells Goku, you got to fight this guy for me. He's going to, he wants us dead. And Goku says, Goku wasn't paying attention at all. Goes, wait, why do I have to fight this guy? And then Oolong says, just fight him. And Goku says, okay. So he fights him. And the fight's pretty cool. They're pretty, they're pretty neck and neck.
Yeah, it's evenly matched for a change.
Right.
This is the first guy who's given Goku any trouble.
Right. It's revealed though that he's only giving him trouble because he's hungry. Goku's starving right now, so starving means he's low on fuel. He's low on energy here, so
Yeah.
you can't give it his 100%.
Well, that makes sense then.
So
The Saiyan needs to eat about 10 times as much as a human being.
Also
Right.
checks out. So they fight.
Eating a carrot because you said that with hummus.
Great. Good point. Much like a Saiyan, you're eating right now. Yeah.
Handling my inner Goku.
Yeah.
So they're pretty evenly matched until Goku whips out his power pole and sends Yamcha flying.
Nice.
And Yamcha's like, the infinitely extending power pole. Only one person could have given that to you. And so it turns out that he knew at least who Gohan was.
Oh, really?
Goku's grandfather.
I wonder how they knew
even
each
if they
other.
never met.
Interesting.
Well, we don't know that they met, but he definitely knew who he was. So
I think he's kind of this renowned legendary figure, much like the Ice King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like we know that Gohan.
Was a badass. Was like one of the greatest fighters in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he trained with Roshi at one point, and he was like one of the greatest fighters in the entire world.
He actually surpassed Roshi. He's stronger than Roshi.
Ooh.
So.
Didn't save him from dying.
Yeah.
Boom.
Where's your fighting skills now?
You're fighting your grandson, who's a giant monkey.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Yamcha is like, well, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm still going to kick your ass because I'm Yamcha, the greatest emperor of the desert.
Yeah.
And is this when he breaks out his Wolfgang fist, which he says every fucking 40 seconds every episode for like 3 seasons?
Oh yeah.
And I'm not sure what that move is. It just seems like he yells that and then just sprints towards them and just jumps, which
It's
doesn't
a-
really seem
it's
like
a
that
fancy-
special of a move.
It's a fancy.
Try it in real life. You'll be impressed with the results.
And it's like a claw, like open-handed struck fist thing when he finally lands it.
It's like E
Yeah.
Honda. It's like E Honda in Street Fighter.
Yeah.
That's my
But they
favorite
always have
move.
to
The
do
only one I could
they
do
always
when I
have
was a
to
kid.
Superimpose the image of the wolf though. Whenever
Yeah, there's
he
like
does it.
wolves behind him when he does it.
Yeah.
Wolf
That
like
is a classic
fist!
move.
Yeah, it's really dumb. It's one of the dumber moves for sure.
So-
Each
They really do not stop talking about it.
Well,
for
that's-
so
I mean-
long.
each one of those
Dragon Ball-
characters has like their move, you know, and like
Yeah.
that's his
Yeah.
move.
They didn't spend a lot of time on that one. It was
No.
like
She gets-
I need 3 words. One of them has to be an animal. The other one has to be a fighting move. The other one I'm open to.
Yeah.
Energy attacks aren't really a thing in Dragon Ball, so
Yeah.
they're pretty restricted as to what they can actually do.
Yamcha gets a pretty cool move later on that he uses once, and I think once in one of the Dragon Ball Z movies. But I think that's it.
Which one is that?
The power shot, where he can redirect the beam wherever he likes. He uses it in his fight against.
It seems incredibly useful for them to never
Yeah.
use it. Maybe they just deemed they were like, "Oh shit, this is too strong. Let's
He-
never
he-
mention it again and hope
Well,
people forget about it."
Yamcha doesn't really get a whole lot of chances to fight after he develops the technique. So
Yeah,
in all fairness.
and you can't let Yamcha actually be useful because Yamcha's whole thing is basically he's like Jeb Bush.
Yeah. High expectations.
Yeah, like
results.
goes into it sort of like all talk and comes
Yeah.
out with not a lot to offer for it.
No, he performs well.
dies.
He performs
He
well
dies, like-
until Tien shows up, pretty much, and then Tien kind of is established to be the one who's just like a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, he gets pretty much clowned with the stick.
And then
And
Goku's hungry.
Goku's hungry. How do we resolve this pickle?
He like passes
so
out, right?
he comes back to him with the Wolf Fang fist and sends Goku flying into a tooth. So
Oof.
Yeah, Tooth completely blows up into rocks and
Yeah.
well, it's made of rock.
Uh-huh.
You know.
and
Component rocks.
And Oolong then freaks out and he's like, well, guess this is a lost cause.
right.
And turns into the aforementioned fly.
That's right.
Then this is resolved by Poir turning into, well, not an anthropomorphic because he's a cat, so like a phelanthropomorphic fly swat. And chases him down with a fly swat and smacks him out of the air.
Does it kill him?
No.
Yep,
Probably
he's
not.
dead. That's it.
Yeah.
No more.
That's ended long. Good. At least he didn't get to abuse anyone else.
Then, like, how is he not dead? Because that's what happens when flies get hit by fly swatters. They die. They don't like walk it off.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the
In this case, things are
argument from Oolong would be that he can't change his strength, and therefore it's no different from Poir hitting Oolong in there. Normally,
Oh,
that
okay.
kind of holds
Yeah,
up.
yeah, that does hold up. We'll give you that. All right, so what then?
So Goku gets up. He says, "I'm famished, but I'll still come at you again." And he does his signature rock paper scissors technique. And I had to apologize to LOD last time. LOD asked what happens if Goku lands on scissors, and I said I don't think he ever does.
Oh, really?
But I was wrong. So he does land on scissors, and it actually happens exactly like you had said. It's like the Three Stooges
Oh,
I call
yes.
technique.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And so he blinds Yamcha with by landing on scissors.
Yes.
Nailed it.
I called that?
Yeah,
You
got
did,
like
yeah.
retroactive MVP of last episode.
Awesome.
And so Yamcha's pissed now. He's coming back with everything, and Goku says, "I can't even stand." Goku's about
Yeah,
to
he's
collapse.
really struggling. Like his eyes are going. He's like wobbling all over the place, and Yamcha is charging at him like a bull. Like shit is about to go down for real.
Yeah.
I would say more like a wolf.
All right, and then out of the middle
Kind
distance,
of lupine. Yeah.
out of the middle distance, who should appear but our brave blue-haired heron?
Oh, Bulma, right.
And here comes the Achilles heel. Or,
Oh, yeah, that's right. He he loses it. He sees her and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh!"
The Achilles penis.
He stops like a locomotive, like
Yeah.
mean,
Just like
Yeah.
the mere seeing of Bulma, he's just sort of like, well, I can't do anything now. I just have to crawl into the fetal position.
yeah.
Oh man, Achilles'
So-
penis really got me.
It really got Yamcha too. So
So
he's rendered completely insensate and worthless.
oh well, he's like, I'll see if I can do it on cam. I
Oh,
don't know if
nice.
I
Here
can.
we
Oh,
go.
that's gonna be the best part
It's
ever.
like-
All right, so Frozen.
like the big run. And he's just sort of like, well, I think I left the oven on. And him and Qua just like skedaddle.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
man.
Poir's just is it that?
Oh, Qua is majorly embarrassed.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, he understands, but he's like, oh, Yamcha, you poor
yeah.
poor dickhead. And then like it cuts back to the bandit hideout, and Yamcha's sitting there on a chair going, you know I have trouble talking to girls. And like no one was asking you to talk to her, dude. You just had to like kick a 6-year-old's ass.
Yeah, ignore the woman.
It's a pretty unfortunate weakness for a fighter, like 50% of the world's population.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Not good odds.
You're gonna run into some issues with that. Yeah. He's really got to go into some immersion therapy on that kind of thing.
But Goku's still like passed out though, right? Because he's
Yeah,
like,
I think-
he's unconscious
I
at this
think-
point,
I
isn't
think
he?
he's just weak.
Oh, he's just weak.
But Bulma is like sees him, taking off Yamcha and Puar, and she's like, "Wait, who is that guy? Who is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
guy? He's really cute."
He's really cute.
Mm.
Which
And so yeah,
This could be the solution to her boyfriend problems.
The guy that
time
most
will tell.
jealous
will
of
be.
all
Who
our
knows?
stars.
Yeah. So do we have any other final moments in this episode? I mean, a lot has happened in this episode. I gotta
No,
say.
it literally ends with Yamcha complaining that he's scared of women. It is quite
Amazing.
anticlimactic.
It's interesting. Dragon Ball Z has this widespread and well-earned reputation for being for containing episodes where just nothing happens. These incredibly tedious episodes where there are so few actions. Dragon Ball really does honestly seem like the opposite. They fit in a ton of crap. A lot of it's completely nonsense, but they do a lot of things per episode,
yeah,
don't they?
I mean, I think it varies.
Early seasons.
They do
Yeah.
early on, but like in season 3 where he's going back out to look for the balls again, it really slows
Uh-huh.
down for a while.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
And every episode ends with the cliffhanger: is Goku dead? Find out next week.
Probably not.
I guess it would be weird if he is.
I think it's a show for kids, guys.
Yes.
I think though it has a lot to do with.
That doesn't allow you to explain how like an episode ending with like, is your main character dead? That's not for kids. You can't.
I think kids can be open for the possibility that they might kill off the main character.
Yeah, kids, fucking idiots, man. Kids are like dogs who leave the home. They're like, oh, they're never coming back again. That is a kid on a TV show.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, I remember I thought that the Green Ranger in Power Rangers was really gonna die.
Oh man, me too.
Yeah.
Big time.
It was a big
I
deal.
was convinced.
It
They
was a
really got me on that one.
It was a big deal to me.
Yeah, you ever tried to like sell a kid on something happening? It's so easy. They're fucking morons.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they'll buy anything. Kids.
I
So
once-
easy to con.
We've come full circle yelling at kids.
Yeah. So I do have a closing question, and this is for the whole panel. Now, early on, we were told by this program that we were going to encounter a man who was both strong and
I was just gonna ask the same question.
what was the other adjective?
Cruel, strong yet
Yeah,
cruel.
strong and cruel.
Yet.
All right, let's start with strong. Do we agree that this guy was strong?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave
Oh,
Goku
yeah.
a fight. Yeah.
He fought Goku pretty well. So he's definitely
Yeah, I mean, it's an enfeebled Goku, but even then, like,
yeah.
Goku is known to fuck things up in a single strike. So, yeah. He's got some.
He's a strong guy. Is he cruel? Have we seen him demonstrate cruelty? I don't know that we have.
He's pretty pumped up to rob these dudes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
definitely alluded to that he's robbed a lot of people before them.
But he lives in the desert.
But isn't that cruel?
He's clearly not like a wealthy
Yes.
guy. You know, this is really
It's not a chill thing to do.
robbery.
He's kind of like sitting on all these like vehicles though. It doesn't seem to like have any need for them.
Yeah.
Listen, I believe it was Temple of the Dog who said, "I don't mind stealing bread from the mouths of decadence, but I'm growing hungry." I want us to all think about that as we close this show.
How about that? See, you learn some things sometimes on this show too, folks.
Yeah, you do. You do. I think we're all set, right? Is this
I have one thing. I learned this a few episodes ago. So in the tournament saga, the announcer asks Goku how old he is, and he said he's 12. So after the year of training with Roshi, I think at this point he's 11. So not 14.
Oh, that checks out.
It looks
All
about
right.
11.
He's
11.
still horny.
Yeah. I always thought he was like 8, but yeah, 11
You know-
seems more
I
reasonable.
want to say he's like 11 and Bulma is like 16, 17.
They changed the ages now that I think about it for the different localizations.
That could be too. I was watching.
I know Gohan. I remember in Dragon Ball Z, he celebrates his birthday right before the Cell Saga, and he turns like 11 or 12, and I think he's only supposed to be like 7 or 8 in the unadulterated
weird.
version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Probably because I don't want to
Makes
have
more
a
sense
7 or
now.
8-year-old fighting these monsters or whatever.
Yeah, terrifying premise.
It's fine if they're
11. I'm like, he's ready.
He's ready. 11's a good ripe age for murder.
I'd send my son out into the
Yeah.
wild to fight monsters of that age.
Get
Yeah,
out
well,
of
your
the
son-
house and go kill something.
Your son
already.
can fly though. If your
Yeah.
son can fly, then yeah,
It's true. I would definitely give my son more responsibilities if he could fly.
sure. Groceries, for
Yeah, like-
instance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just to pick one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's what they always show them doing later on in like
Yeah,
the-
seriously.
Always getting groceries.
For Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi's just like,
Daddy,
go
yeah.
buy me loaves of French bread.
They have
Yeah.
a baguette under one arm and
Yeah.
a giant
Yeah,
bowl.
It's like
in the
one
other
big
one.
carrot, yeah, and a boar. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's saving like $3,000 a year in gas, guys. I mean, I don't think we can judge her for this.
That's true.
Yeah, I like it. They're a very green family, when you get right down to it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, folks. Well, hey, I think this is a pretty successful episode. I want to thank you all for joining us here for one more inane conversation that drags out for way too long, where we describe Dragon Ball episode in tedious detail.
I'm glad we did it again after the break. I think we should keep doing it, obviously. So hopefully, let's
I
not
think we
take
did,
too much of a hiatus in between.
Yep.
them.
I just want to one last thing. Las Divine, if you're watching this right now, you can watch it, but if I see even a single character posted from you on the comment train, I'm going to find you, and we're gonna have words.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
He
All right.
actually will. He's done this before.
I hate you, Les.
Talking to
Divine.
you, man.